Spring training 2021, Yankees baseball is back. It's great to see all the starters. The pitchers are finally returning. You know, you got Kluber making his. I saw him on the Pitchers Nation on Instagram finally throwing. You see Jameson Taillon throwing. You see Garcia, Cole. Cole's ready to win a championship. He said it the other day. I mean, Murph, how you feeling?
Dude, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Baseball's on the way back. It's going to start on time, full 162. Can't complain, really. Just awesome. Awesome stuff.
We had, like, the hitters, I think, showed up today, finally, which is pretty awesome to see all the guys back. I mean, just, like, baseball's finally back. It is finally back, and hopefully it starts on time. You know, we're looking at minimum 154 right now.
Yeah.
And the max a full season, you know.
Yeah.
So we got Kluber finally throwing. Are you worried about his health coming into 2021?
I mean, yes and no, but I feel like there's a bunch of other guys I'm more worried about than Kluber, right? I think the whole roster, you can go up and down. I just feel like if that guy gets hurt, we're done. If that guy gets hurt, we're done. So, I mean, yes, I am worried about his health, right? Because I think we need one of the following three guys. We need Kluber, either Kluber, Jameson, or Sevy. One of those three guys has got to step up.
Yeah.
Right? One of those three injury-prone guys, if you will, need to step up and perform. I think best case scenario, two. We need at least two of them, really.
Yeah.
But I'll take one. So, yes, I'm worried about, potential injuries, but, at the end of the day, he needs to perform, right? He just needs to step up and be a solid number two for us. Because our rotation has the potential to be good, but right now it's just, Yankee fans are still kind of worried, still kind of nervous.
It's like we have a lot of guys that could possibly make our rotation, in my opinion, I think, because you still have Clark, you still have Devy, like you have freaking Kluber, Taillon, Montgomery, like all these guys, and Severino returning. Like, what's gonna
not to raid on your parade, but unfortunately Clark is not going to be in the rotation discussions because he had an elbow thing.
I did not see that. Wait, what?
For 3 to 4 weeks. It's just announced today. Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks he's done. It's like a minor elbow thing, but it's enough to keep him out of the discussion.
Okay.
So,
that's rest recovery.
Yeah.
Please.
So the injury bug striking early.
Injury bug striking early to someone who wasn't in our rotation just yet, but we want him. We want Clark.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard Zach Britton's comments about Domingo Germán causing a little rift in our Yankee bullpen and pitching staff. Germán did some questionable things at a charity event for CC, I think, 2 years ago? A year ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Got himself suspended, nearly quit baseball, and then Zach Britton comes out and say, like, this is unacceptable, which it is unacceptable to have this happen. Britton then, I mean, I get Britton's probably, I think he's the Players Association rep, so he kind of has to make the statement, which eventually, like, it needs to be said, but publicly, I don't know, because that also affects, I mean, Chapman has a reputation. A lot of MLB baseball players have this reputation, but Chapman has a reputation. He's their closer, and now Germán has his reputation too. So, and this is like Germán's it's going to be his first year back since, 2019? So.
Yeah, I think so.
How do you think, is this going to affect the Yankees, do you think, in a bad way?
It's tough to say, right? Because this isn't like Chapman's had some history off the field as well. So, and there hasn't been too much issues with him. But the difference is Chapman is like the guy. Like he's a closer.
Chapman's Chapman. He's a star. Freaking Chapman.
Yeah, he's a star. Germán's no star, right? He's not a star right now, or may never be. We'll see. It depends. Now, I do appreciate him already saying he's going to address the team because that's something, they didn't want to have to force him to do, but in a way they were, like Boone was talking, like, I don't want to have to make him address the team, but, like, that is something I got to keep my eye on.
Have to.
Yeah, he has to, right? And Britton's like, you don't have to explain anything to me, yada, 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 but he does. He needs to address the team. He needs to talk to these guys. It's going to be a difficult conversation, especially since from what I understand, he's not going to be able to have the full team in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have to do it in groups. So that might be kind of interesting to see him have to give the same spiel to like multiple groups. It's going to be a tough road for Herman, right? Because not only does he have to prove himself that he can like pitch and be a high caliber pitcher and be able to break onto this roster, but he's got to prove to his teammates that he is changed and he can be someone that they can rely on and they can trust again. So this is tough. If I'm being completely honest, I don't see him breaking the opening day roster.
Mm-hmm.
I would see him in a AAA situation where
like
he goes
taxi squad at like max. I don't think he's making opening day.
No, I would say like he's going to start off in AAA for a couple weeks, maybe even a month, and we're going to go from there. It depends on the state of the rotation, right? If guys get hurt early, maybe he comes up. If guys aren't performing, right, maybe he comes up. But I would assume a lot more guys are getting a nod ahead of Herman, right? Because
Devy's ahead of him.
Oh, for sure.
Easily.
For sure, Devy's ahead of him.
And it's just like Herman hasn't pitched in the major leagues in over 2 years, and he's dealt with some issues, at least I think personally, when he almost quit baseball, which he did, or he didn't. No one knows. But I don't think this is going to affect the overall Yankees pitching staff, because if he doesn't come back to what he was, like, I think there's other guys that are going to step up in his place and are willing to take that next step. I think Garcia is going to take a big step this year when he's called upon to take that step,
I hope so. I think I really want him and Montgomery to take those steps forward. I think Montgomery's on the cusp of something special. I think he really showed us last year in that playoff appearance that he can really be a guy we can lean on. And hopefully he takes that step, especially since he's one of the few lefties we have on the team. And then Garcia, the young guy, young potential ace, you need him to step up too. And if those two guys can step up, I think we have a really deep, really good rotation. I'm not saying the best in the league by any means, but I'm saying like above average at minimum, right? So there's something to look forward to in this rotation. And just, can Herman figure it out in time? I personally don't think so. I don't think he's going to be able to prove himself in this spring training.
Yeah.
But the worst case scenario is that the Yankees just straight up release him, right? If things get too much turmoil, which I don't think there will be, assuming his conversation with his teammates goes over well.
Yeah. If anything, I could see them trading him. There's always a team out there that'll take him, and he is worth something if he does perform at some sort of level in AAA. I think he'll do good in AAA, but I don't know if he could end up just being like down there half the season, and being like a mid-season call-up for an injury or like a spot start. Who knows? Because, again, he hasn't pitched in the major leagues in over 2 years. You have – now I'm going to get into the most annoying situation. My take on this. We have Gary Sanchez and Kyle Higashioka. Murph, are we seeing a Gary Sanchez resurgence this year or no? Like, I want your take. We say this every freaking year. Or Gary Sanchez resurgence. Is 2021 finally going to be the year for El Gary?
Yes, I've been saying this from the start, bro. I'm back on the bandwagon, right? I took a pit stop, right? I got off the train temporarily. I was like, okay, dude, this guy's driving me crazy. He's trash. I don't know what to do. Do we really want to? He lost his spot in the playoffs. How do you not play in the playoffs? What, did he play one game in the playoffs?
He started, I think, Tanaka's start. I think he had Tanaka's game.
Yeah, and whatever. And then Hickey's like, I'll take it over. I'll take it from here, bud. You just go relax on the bench, Tubby. So, I don't know, bro. But I'm back on the train. I'm back. I have to fully embrace Gary because there's no one coming in. No one's coming to back him up. No one.
There's not a double A and there's not a triple A guy coming in to replace. We have single A, low A, and ECL like guys that are going to be ready in the next 5 years, maybe. But now it's Gary and Higgy.
It's Gary and Higgy, possibly Chirinos. Doubt it though. Maybe in case injury, that's if he's willing to accept the AAA assignment, and he would wants to stay with the team. That's not sure how that goes over, but we'll see.
Was Cole's catcher?
Yeah, though. Let's not make that a thing though. We
do not want a 39-year-old.
It's not even the age for me. It's the fact that I don't want Chirino's going to come up every fifth day to catch Cole, and that's it.
I don't want him either because of the comments he made about the Yankees when he was on the Astros. I don't want him on the team.
I don't really care about that. I see what you're saying. I don't really care about that.
Astro. He was an Astro.
I don't care. Cole was an Astro. Cole was an Astro.
But he was drafted originally by the Yankees. He was a Yankee at heart.
But he did accept the draft. He went back to college.
Hey, gotta get your degree. Yankee fan today, tomorrow, forever. You know.
Shut up. Shut your mouth. Either way, I got no problems with Trino making. I do because I don't want a third catcher on the roster. Period. I think that's too much, and I don't want to have that to be a thing. Like I don't want personal catchers. Like that already annoyed me last year, right? I used to be kind of okay with personal catchers, but not so much anymore, especially when you got an offensive juggernaut and Gary Sanchez, or potential offensive juggernaut, right? Left to be seen.
He's always a threat to do damage. It's just when you get hot, Gary, or you string a few hits together, you got to just keep it going. You know, don't get it too ahead of yourself, and don't get too can I keep this up? Questioning yourself. You got to just stay even keeled and just ride the wave out. Like he did in 2017 with his 24 home runs, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think Gary's going to bounce back. Like I said, I think he's going to hit at worst 260, and I think we're getting 30 home runs. That's what I think. I really hope he does pan out because, you know, this is his last year. This is make or break season with the Yankees, and I think there's a few guys on this roster who have a make or break year. And he's definitely one of them. I think he's like at the front of that list of make or break guys because if he's bad like first half of the season, he could get, you know, he could be benched. You could look to see a trade at the All-Star break. You never know. I mean,
I don't think he's getting released at all.
No, I think if he was going to get released, he was going to get released before we did the arbitration stuff, which I never thought he was going to get released there either. Like, and anybody who was surprised he didn't get released is not someone you should be speaking about baseball news about, right? Because they have no idea what they're talking about.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, it's just no shot you release a guy like that.
Yeah. I know this is a heated situation, so we're gonna move on to the next topic because you know we want Gary to succeed. We've talked about
will succeed. Before. He will succeed.
He will succeed. He will succeed. I'm saying it now.
I'm back on the trend. I'm back on the bandwagon. I'm there.
We're like swinging the reins on the horse. We're back on. Gary, go do your thing. Yankees re-signed longest tenured Yankee. He's 14 years a Yankee. Brett Gardner to a $4 million deal. Team option for next year.
$4 mill's a lot. Yep, that is correct. $4 mill's a lot. A lot more than I thought I was going to get. I mean, we bought him out for $5, bro. He was making 10. At that point, why not just pay him the 10? Yeah. Will we save $1 million?
You're $4 million. You're $1 million away, dude. Give it to him. Why don't you? You know?
Like, what was the whole point? Like, I thought the point was to buy him out and then be like, yo, we'll sign you for like 2. Yeah. Because then, you know, that adds up to 7 technically, right?
We've already given you $5 million without you even earning it, you know? Like, we paid you the rest of your we paid you half of your contract plus the money you made that year.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I have no problem paying Gardy, my dude. Like,
yes.
You know, if they were going to not buy him out, I was going to be okay with it regardless, right? Because I like Gardy. Gardy's, again, the heart and soul, better presence.
He's earned his mill, you know?
Yeah. So, like, if they were just going to pay him his $10 million, whatever. But you bought him out. And the whole point of buying him out was so you had more cap space to go work and do something else. And then you end up with like an extra $1 million. Like that's It's weird to me. But whatever.
The thing is like we're both fine with him signing, like them paying Gardy, like not whatever, but you know, like paying him a little bit more than he deserves because he's the longest tenured Yankee kind of thing, you know, plays his heart out. He also is one of those Yankees that's like if he's going to be in the lineup, he's going to constantly be in the lineup. He's never in my Yankee memory, he's never been benched or like consistently injured for long periods of time. He's always been a Yankee. He's always been in the pinstripes. He's always been out there every day balling out for the Yankees, whether it be off the bench or on the field. So I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a platoon guy for sure this year. Though he's definitely coming off the bench. He's clearly okay with that, and I think hopefully this is just an extra thing to light up Clint Frazier and get him going a little bit. The old man's back in town, trying to take left field from him. So hopefully this is something.
Both of them want their spot, so it's going to be interesting.
Guardy's not going to just give it to him. Even if Boone said like Clint is our starting left fielder, Guardy's like, hold up, that was before I came back, and now I'm here. So
now I'm back.
I'm back. This is my spot, and he's going to make him work for it, and that's good. There's always good competition, friendly competition. Guardy's definitely push his buttons and push him just to be a better player. So it's good stuff. I appreciate it.
You said the Yankees. Actually, no. We'll touch on that in a sec. But I heard the Yankees were down at watching David Robertson's bullpen down in Florida. I don't know if he's signed yet, but if he's still a free agent as at the time that we're making this video, would you like to see him in pinstripes? He's been out of baseball for a little while. I know he had Tommy John, he's had injuries, and he was kind of a extended free agent one spring training. So he's been out of it a while.
Yeah.
It was with the Yankees. He, kid you not, was one of the most underrated relievers in all of baseball.
Yeah, for sure. He was definitely a staple in the bullpen when he was here. That was when our bullpen was like nasty. That was when it was really deep. Yeah, I'd love to see him back, but I just don't see any room, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Right, you got to think. So Chapman closer, Brin's the setup guy / backup closer. Let's see who else. Then you got Chad Green, you got Darren O'Day, Justin Wilson, Luis Sessa, Jonathan Loaizaga, and then Albert Abreu, who's out of options now. So he has to be on the starting roster, or they have to trade him or release him.
Yeah, and I don't see them releasing him because he's a prospect. So.
Yeah, they're not going to release him for free. So there could be another trade inbound. You never know. I think they still need to clear up a space for Gardy, maybe even Wilson. I can't remember, but there might be a trade inbound. But there's already, and then you got Adam Warren, you got Addison Russ from the Phillies, who everyone says is really good and he's highly touted.
And he could crack the roster. Who knows?
He could. And then you got Michael King as well, Nelson. Yeah. So the Yankees got some depth in the bullpen. Well, depth is like a loose term. They got bodies to throw in the bullpen.
Rather. There are bodies that'll go out there, and when they're good, they're really good.
Yeah. These are guys who have potential to be big time closers. So I would like, Robertson to be a part of this team, but I just don't see any space for him unless you're gonna trade a Sessa and Abreu, right? There's just no room. So it is what it is. I think right now, if you look at our pen, I'm really happy with our pen. I think it's much better than it was last year. I think we got some good vets on this team who can really carry the load, especially if O'Day and Wilson can pan out. Like O'Day being, the righty assassin, Wilson being the lefty guy. So this is really good stuff.
This bullpen I do see being very successful this year. They're gonna have a major bounce back year compared to last year's that horrible stretch they had. I've been seeing videos of Luis Medina, the Yankees' top, I'd say bullpen prospect.
I thought Gil was the bullpen. Medina's the starter.
Medina's a starter. Okay.
Yeah, he's a starter. Gil though is also really good. They say he has the potential to be a big time closer.
Those two guys,
both Luises.
Yeah, the Luises, Medina and Gil. I could see them. I think Medina got maybe invited because he was down there he was throwing with Dievy. He was also down there like shoving Dominican Winter League. Like striking out pro hitters like major league top guns.
Yeah, he was facing I think he faced like pretty much a major league roster at one point. I think it was like Robinson Cano and like all of them around
Ronald
that roster.
Guzman, Robinson Cano, Cruz, probably Aguilar. So like he's been facing really good guys and he's been carrying them up. And I do think Medina. I haven't seen Gil videos yet, but I've seen Medina and Medina looks really good.
Yeah, he looks really
something to look forward to. I think he'll be put in the AA, AAA range this year.
Yeah, I feel like start off AA and then he'll eventually end up in AAA.
Finish the year.
He definitely won't make the major league roster yet, but like maybe I guess if injuries get too crazy, hopefully that doesn't happen. But Yeah,
I also want him to develop a little bit more before he comes up.
Oh yeah.
Young. What else? You said guys last chances with the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got their last chance with the Yankees?
So Albert Abreu, if
Yeah.
he somehow cracks the roster, which I'm assuming he will, because again he has no option. So unless they're trading him, he's gonna have to crack the roster. So this is probably his make or break season. I think he's like 25, 26.
Yeah.
He's up there in age. So he's coming up on his last final stretch with the Yankees, and I think this is his make or break. Jonathan Loaiziga, I think he's another guy probably on his make or break season. If he really wants to break into this rotation or break into this pen and really make himself a staple, right? I think the Yankees gave him an abundance of opportunities last year to kind of be that guy. Granted, they didn't prepare him for his late inning late inning relief
They just kind of
appearances and
threw him out
playoffs.
there and hope for the best.
Yeah, so I don't know. I would have liked them to develop him more, and like if you're gonna bring him out, maybe don't do that in the playoffs, right? Because he has limited experience doing that. So that was kind of sus. But like everything else is like he's a really good player. I really enjoy Jonathan Loaiziga. I think he has a really bright future ahead of him. But this is probably his make or break if he wants to really be a part of this team and a part of this bullpen. King, probably another guy.
Yeah.
Wade, he's probably coming up on that make or break thing, right? Because
Talkman,
he could get traded already. If I'm being honest, there's a good chance he could get traded. I hear a lot of teams are interested. And again, they need to clear up space for Guardy regardless. So whether that's an Abreu, Talkman type of trade, I'm not sure. That could be a thing.
Eventually too, because he's not playing on this team.
Yeah, it's a tough trade, especially since we have Jay Bruce and surprise signing Derek Dietrich, which no one really knew that we had signed.
I think Dietrich probably makes the roster.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say
he's
too.
He's an infielder, an outfielder, and he's got a beyond powerful lefty bat for Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, so there's a good chance he could break with this roster as a utility guy with Wade. So it'd be interesting. I think they have some options, right? They have Andujar, they have Jay Bruce.
Is this Andujar's last opportunity to prove himself?
Probably. Yeah. But the problem is, like, how does he make this roster? Right? How? Like, unless he makes major strides this spring training, really showcasing his defense, I don't see how he breaks this roster.
You have too many people on the roster. Like, someone needs to get traded, released, or just kept in AAA. Like, so it's just a matter of like who now.
Yeah, and I don't think Andujar will be happy starting off the season at AAA, because he's going to be like, dude, at one point I was his starting third baseman. I was the guy. I almost won Rookie of the Year. I was runner up, right?
Which he should have won.
He should have won.
Yes.
Right? And because of one injury, he's now in danger of potentially not even making the roster.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a serious danger, right? Because you got vets on this team. Like Derek Dietrich could very much take up the final roster spot, right? And
could very well be like, if Stan gets hurt, God forbid, please don't get hurt. He could end up being a DH. Just being a power lefty bat in Yankee Stadium. I know we Yankee fans really don't want to see that, but he would make the Yankees a very mean team to mess around with.
Yeah.
Because it does create conflict, but sometimes conflict for the Yankees is good because it fires the team up. And last year, the Yankees did not have a lot of fire. And the Yankees need fire this year because they had it at certain points, but you got to keep that fire throughout the whole season and run with it.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. I'm rooting for Miggy. I really like Miggy. I think he's a pure hitter. It's just a matter of that defense, right? And I think he's going to be pretty much in the identical role he was last year in spring training. He's going to be playing outfield, third, and first. He's going to get the whole word. And he really needs to show that he's above average in at least one of those positions. Left field, probably a tough ask. Third base, you got chances there. First base, also potential chances. So
you got to beat out Gio, man. He's got at third. You got a Gold Glove caliber guy at third who hits 290.
Yeah.
So if the only thing is Gio fully back from his elbow surgery? I'm assuming he is.
I believe so. I think Boone said he should be ready to go for the first expedition game they got going. I think it's this weekend or next. I don't know. 28th, I think. So I think he should be ready to start or at least play.
Monday.
So Monday next week, yeah. So there you go. I think he should be ready, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Miggy gets to start and Gio might come in the following day. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
We shall see. But other than that, I'm very excited for the Yankees 2021 season. This roster has a lot of potential. There's a lot of ifs on this team too.
Yeah, scary amount of ifs.
Like an unhealthy amount of ifs, enough to cause Murph and I anxiety that'll last a whole year.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the first time I've gone into a spring training and like really don't know what this team is gonna be like. Like I think offensively, I'm pretty confident in this team, right? I think like let's say Gary doesn't even perform, I still think the rest of these guys can carry Gary in this offense, right? And especially if, like we got our starting nine is potentially fully healthy, right? We're gonna go in the season with a starting nine that's healthy, and that's a scary lineup. That truly is a scary lineup. DJ leading us off, right? 300 hitter.
Yeah.
Judge, when he's healthy, he's probably a top 5 offensive player in this league. Just the ability to go oppo, hit home runs, just put the ball in play at like over 100 miles per hour is ridiculous. So at some point, he's going to be a top 5 player in this league.
Yeah.
Then you got probably Hicks, who the walk machine or the strikeout machine, depending on which Hicks shows up. He's got 2 modes: walk mode or I'm a swing at everything mode. So
we need a 260 season out of Hicks.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy with.
And he can do it. He can do it.
He can. I don't even need the power, right? The power would be nice, but I just need him when he's hitting lefty. I need him to be at least a threat, right? Because if he's not a threat, then they're just gonna walk over this lineup.
Yes. We need him to like wake up because we cannot have 8 righties hitting the ball and then just our one lefty's like I don't care, like a righty pitcher is just gonna be like like I'm gonna throw this guy whatever I want because he's a lefty and he's not actually hitting. It's not gonna be like, oh, lefty's out, I have to pitch differently. I'm just gonna pitch him as though he's a righty if he's gonna strike out all the time. Yeah. So we need you to change, Aaron. You got paid what, $65 million contract? Start earning it. Because your defense you've earned a little bit, you've earned your somewhat, you just need a hit.
You just need that offense. You just need that offense. Especially if you're the third guy. You hit it in between, Judge, Stan, maybe Voit. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. I think maybe they put Voit at 4 because, led the MLB in home runs last year, on pace to hit, I think it was 59 home runs. Ridiculous.
Hit his number, baby. That would have been
number. He could potentially do it. I'm a believer. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be fully healthy.
When he's healthy, he's a dog. Who we got next then? Stanton?
We'll say Stanton's batting 5.
Yes.
Dude, he was electric in his brief moments last year, right? Started off the season pretty hot, was doing it all. Unfortunate injury. Screw you, Tropicana. Hate you. Horrible. Then we get to the playoffs, and he's like, hey, I never left. It's like a moonshot.
Grand moonshot off
of the stadium.
Now. 2 home runs off of glass now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's his number. I mean, electric stuff.
Absolutely electric. Who we got? So that's 5. We have 4, 5, 6 is.
6 is probably gonna be Glaber. Torres is gonna be 6.
I think he has a bounce back year.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, bro. I hope it's like last year was the thing of trying to, balance his shortstop and be better on defense, and then trying to balance the offense. So hopefully this full season, normal-ish season to an extent.
Find your stride.
Hopefully he'll find it. I think he will. I think we'll see the Glaber of old, the pure hitter. The defense might not be all that, but I think it will improve.
I'm cool with that.
Dude, as long as it's average, I'm good.
Yeah.
Make the routine play, and I'm okay with that. I'll live with that.
I don't need no flashy jump throw. Just make.
I don't need the Jeter from short. I don't need that. I just need
the across it. The make the routine play, and the Yankee fans will love you.
Turn double plays, please. Yes. Like that was like rare last year. I feel like turn the double play was almost like
And if
like
we're at least getting the second guy, we're at least getting the lead runner kind of thing, you know. But you got to be quicker.
sometimes.
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes we didn't even do that. So
Yeah.
I mean, let's make the routine plays. Let's turn double plays because that should be routine in the major leagues, right? This isn't no little league. This is like, hey, bam, DJ comes across, right? That should be easy stuff. I feel like that was kind of like awkward dynamic last year.
Yes, very awkward dynamic.
So hopefully we clean that up. 7, Clint Frazier.
Here's where I get at you, your boy, real quick. I think we go Gary at 7, and then Gio at 7, Gary at 8, and then you have Clint to flip over the lineup. So it's Clint, DJ, Judge, Hicks. That's a
That's
ended
good. But I think I really like Gio batting last because Gio's a 300 hitter. And I think he has a better chance of turning over the lineup than
Gary, Clint, or
I think Gary.
Gary.
I think Gary right now is the hole, right? Gary's the hole in the lineup, right? Until he proves otherwise, he's the hole in the lineup.
He's also the hole behind the backstop.
All right, bro. I didn't say all that. Stop. I didn't say all that. You put some respect on his name.
I'm still on the train. Keep going, baby.
So he's the hole in the lineup. So I think you put him 8th because that's where you put 2 pretty competent hitters. You have Clint Frazier with that electric bat speed and that ability to go and then Gio, who's primarily a contact hitter, right? He can't put the ball out of the park as he's shown us in the playoffs. Shout out to him. Against Cleveland, his former team. Yeah, big ups. Thanks for giving us the third baseman.
For what, $250,000?
Yeah, for Psycho Baseballs, dude. We'll take that any day of the week. Big ups to you guys.
Thank you. You guys are trash. I mean, there's our 2021 team.
Yeah.
Should be a fun year. Very excited. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Do your thing. Please. We're praying. We need a ring in the Bronx, and this team can do it. It can happen. It can happen. And Marcus Stroman, you can keep talking over there in your orange and blue, pretending to be a big supporter of your orange and blue teammates, but guess you quit on them last year. Stop acting like you love your team. Sorry, that's my little rant for the day.
Shots at Stroman for no reason.
Because he's been calling us out, so I'm calling his ass out.
As of late, he's been calling us out?
Yeah. You didn't see that? He was no. They asked him about when he was being traded. He's like, I never wanted to be traded to the Yankees. In fact, all my family's are Met fans. I'm like, dude, shut up. No one asked you about the Yankees specifically.
He's just jealous, bro. He just wants to be a Yankee so bad.
It's okay, Marcus. You can settle for
hey, Marcus.
Marcus, you can keep your little frosted tips over there in Queens. You're not that good anyway. You had one good half of a season, but it would be nice to have you. But you are a bum.
I would love to have you.
I would love to,
but I hate you. You suck.
But the thing is, don't come chatting about the Yankees if you don't have anything to say about, if you don't have anything nice to say, because I guarantee you that Aaron Judge will take you yard, Marcus, yet again. He'll send it to the freaking bleachers like he did every time that he faced you. So keep chatting. You already quit on your team once. Who's to say you're not going to quit again? And if you've been out of baseball a year, so you can't really talk until you put up the numbers again. Then we can talk about you being the stud, the Stro show that you originally were, with a 4 ERA a show. That's just my TED talk for today. Well, Murph, 2021 Yankees, we are back. Spring training full effect. I cannot wait. We can do it this year.
We can. Should have done it 3 other times, but I'll take this year.
We'll take it this year. All right. Thank you all for watching. That's episode number 10 of Off the Cuff. Have a good day. Thank you, Murph, for joining me. Later.